Satyashri from Kasturba Gandhi Degree and PG College for Women. I am pursuing my degree second year in BSc BZC. So today I am here to present you an activity from our botany department. So this is a microgreen, something that we eat along with stem and leaves and basically everything which is out of the soil. So each microgreen has its own specific taste. While coming to methi actually tastes slightly bitter. While coming to mustard tastes slightly spicy. And coming to radish microgreen, it actually tastes like a radish too. Adding more essence and flavor to our foods like toast and salads, microgreens are scientifically proven that they have good and greater health benefits. So today I'm here to talk about microgreens and how to grow microgreens easily, fastly and quickly. What are microgreens? Microgreens are vegetable greens which are harvested after the cotyledon leaves are developed. These edible greens are produced from various kinds of vegetables, plants and other herbs. Microgreens are more nutritious as they are rich in antioxidants, vitamins and minerals, while they range up to 1 to 3 inches along with stem and leaves. The stem is cut above the soil line before harvesting. Microgreens have fully developed cotyledon leaves and usually a pair of very small partially developed leaves. Microgreens are used as nutrient supplement, a flavor and texture enhancement. Microgreens are used for sweetness and spiciness of food. While coming to baby greens are the greens that are consumed right after sprouting, where coming to microgreens, these greens are consumed when there is a development of stem and leaves. Microgreens are used vastly these days. These microgreens are used for garnishing soups, salads, toast, sandwiches, etc. and also used as main supplement of food. Where these microgreens are popular these days, these nutrition chefs and cooks are using it in a new ways. Coming to how to grow microgreens. Growing microgreens these days is very easy but filled with challenges. To prevent and manage these microgreens from fungus and mold growths, we require to provide sufficient nutrients and correct and proper growing media. So all we need to do is provide them the sufficient light, which is through direct or indirect media. Like if we are growing these microgreens in indoors, we need to provide them the artificial lighting, where in various conditions we need to provide it direct sunlight.
The first step to grow microgreens are selection of seeds. Not all seeds can be taken as nutritional supplements in microgreens. You can select seeds such as wheat grains, pulses like moong dal, fenugreek seeds, coriander seeds, etc. as I told before. Now the first step is to soak the seeds. Here I took wheat grains along with a bowl filled with water, which is enough to soak them. You have to soak them at least for 8 hours. Here, addition to this, I also soaked fenugreek seeds and green gram seed. To show you, I soaked these grains 8 hours before, and this is how they look after 8 hours.
To grow microgreens in hydroponic method, it is a type of hydroculture where it doesn't require soil, and all we need is to provide them is the nutrient mineral solutions, which is an aqueous solvent.
For this method, we need to have a tray or a plastic container, tissues, selected seeds and water. First step, take a plastic container, place the several layers of tissues like 4 to 5 layers of dense. Now, take water and spray the medium. Don't over wet them. Now, sprinkle the seeds over the tissues evenly. Now, cover the seeds with a lid or paper or a tissue and keep it aside without disturbing them for a day. Place them in a dark place.
So now coming to the second method, that is soiling method. As we grow most of our plants in a soil, it is not that difficult to grow them in the soil. As you know, we need to water them regularly. So the steps we need to follow to grow microgreens in soil medium or in soiling method, all we need to do is
to grow in soiling method. Here also we require a plastic container or a tray. Add soil or coco peat at least 2/4 of the container where the roots can penetrate. Now sprinkle or sow the seeds over the soil. And the main tip to grow these seeds are, do not forget to cover the seeds with at least 1 to 2 inches of soil. Now spray enough water, avoid more water to avoid fungus. It takes 7 to 8 days to harvest microgreens.
To show you, I have grown this microgreens before and they are ready to harvest. So, you are thinking how to harvest them? So, it is very easy to harvest your microgreens. All you need to do is cut them above the soil line. So, take a scissors and cut your crop. And this is how you need to cut your microgreens. To tell you, this is green gram, which I have soaked before, and after a few days it grows like this. While coming to fenugreek seeds, this is fenugreek, that is methi, and it is almost ready to harvest. This is wheatgrass, that is wheat seeds. Even this wheat is ready to harvest. The advantages of growing a wheat microgreen is the microgreen is like green gram, fenugreek seeds or coriander, etc. can't be regrown and used as a microgreen again. Whereas this wheatgrass can be grown again and again, at least for 2 or 3 times. It can be harvested and used as many of them are using this wheatgrass for weight loss, etc. as they are using for drinks while they are consuming them in the morning for weight loss, etc. This wheatgrass can be used twice, and later all the nutrients present in this soil and in this seeds get lost. So that this may not work. This may not work more effective as it is used for the first and second and third time. So after 3 times of this regrowth, we can sow new seeds and again we can regrow them. And lastly, I wanted to tell you that growing microgreens is not that difficult until you enjoy growing them. Like these days, they are including this gardening as a therapy where it is helped to relieve stress. And I don't think it is a big process or it is a big time taking or anything, as it hardly took me just 5 minutes to water all my plants. So I don't think it takes longer for you too, as we are growing microgreens. And the main reason I have heard these days about gardening is we don't have space, we live in apartments, we live in a small house, etc. But growing plants doesn't require more space. We can grow them anywhere. And especially growing microgreens is very easy and it doesn't require space. And these microgreens can be placed in windows, balconies, etc. as they get enough and partial light. So, imagine growing microgreens in a plastic container like ice cream cups, disposable glasses, ice cream cups, and jam boxes, and especially surprise, this. I don't think growing plants in this medium and in this container is not that difficult, and it's not that expensive, as coconut shell is the most used thing in everyone's house. So reuse it, recycle them, and grow your own plants at your house and stay healthy. And I don't think there is an excuse for this, as everyone drink milk every day. I don't think they can grow this. Yes, you can grow your microgreens anywhere in indoors. So reuse, recycle them, reuse them in a beneficial ways, and as you can stay fit and healthy. So there is no excuse for this milk packet, right? Everyone drinks milk every day, and I don't think this milk packet goes like wasted. So use it, use for a healthy purpose. And to show you, I did not harvest my green gram microgreen. So this is a milk packet. So I used this milk packets to grow microgreens. Like, I don't think this takes more space in your house, as they can be placed anywhere, like in a windows, like they can be placed nearly. So don't think life is not possible in anything. Life is possible in a small container, big containers, anywhere, the life is possible. So reuse. And this is green gram. As I told you, I didn't harvest this to show you. This is green gram, which I sow them in a coconut shell. This is green gram. While this is coriander. That is kothumir. This is coriander. As they are sprouting now. This is wheatgrass. Even I sowed my wheat seeds in this. And this, see, this, it's a kind of happiness. This is fenugreek, and even this is a fenugreek. See, there is no question of small container, large container. It's all about taking care of your microgreens and preventing them from attacking fungus and molds. And if you feel like there is a fungus or a mold in your micro garden medium, just keep them away from your plants where they don't attack the other plants. So this is wheat. I used a hydroponic method here, but due to excess amount of water, like overwatering my seeds, this was attacked with fungus, you can see. So please avoid overwatering. The roots also attack fungus. So please place this away from other plants, and you can see there is no growth in this as there is fungus. This is my wheat, and these are also ready to harvest. This is chana, and this is wheat which I grew using hydroponic method. I wish everyone grow your own microgreens at your home and stay healthy. And our next video is about organic compost and app related to plant care and maintenance.
A very warm greetings to one and all. I am Sri Ram Lahari, student of Zoology Department of Kasturba Gandhi Degree and PG College, pursuing BSc second year. Today, I along with my fellow students Harishivalakshmi, Shazia and Sania are here to enlighten you all regarding grow your own greens. In a hard present situation, most of us are retaining ourselves to home since a very long time. During this time period, majority of us have created a new hobby of plantation at our residence itself. Growing plants is not an easy job, as we have to look after the healthy growth and efficient outcome from those plants. For such, a proper nourishment should be provided to the plants growing indoors, and the best source of nourishment can be provided to the plants is through organic compost. For this, firstly, we need to know what exactly organic compost means. So, Harishivalakshmi, could you please let us know about the organic compost?
Definitely, Lahari. Compost is nothing but a mixture of ingredients used to fertilize and improve the quality of soil. It is commonly prepared by decomposing food and plant waste and recycling organic materials. It is a simple way to add the nutrient-rich humus to our lawn or garden that restores the soil fertility and fuels the plant growth. And this compost is eco-friendly too.
Oh well, Shazia might be knowing much about the method of preparation of organic compost.
I do, and I would be glad to share it with you all too. Firstly, there is a common misconception among people that home composting is very difficult. But that's not actually true. If you follow the correct method, then it will eventually yield good results. So, first and foremost, start by collecting raw materials such as dry leaves, vegetable scraps, eggshells, or any other kitchen waste. Add this to the soil, red soil, or black soil. Sprinkle it with some water, stir it well, and let it rest.
Well, that sounds quite easy. Sanya, will you let us know more about the organic compost?
Basically, organic compost is completed between 15 to 20 days. If we take up smaller quantity of waste, we'll get the compost within 15 days. But if we take up the larger quantity of waste, the compost further increases.
Oh, is it? Okay. Hari Shivalakshmi, can you please share the precautions to be taken during the preparation of organic compost?
Yeah, there are definitely do's and don'ts during the compost as well. Firstly, I would like to speak on do's. Do mix a variety of food scraps with grass and leaf clippings in it. If we are adding food scraps, be sure that we bury them deep in the compost pile in order to avoid the attracting rodents. And the compost pile should be well aerated and should not be covered. And the compost pile should not be too wet, dry, or cold. And by using curd or buttermilk, we can speed up the fermentation process of the compost as well. Now, Shazia, would you like to continue with the don'ts during the compost?
Definitely. There are don'ts too. You should never add meat, fish, bones, dairy products, or any other fatty foods that add grease to the compost pile. Do not use leftover food, insecticides, or weed plants during the composting process. Never add pet feces or litter as they break up into the pile and leads to the hazardous growth of bacteria, viruses, and fungi.
That's very informative, Shazia. Sanya, would you brief us about the advantages of using organic compost?
Composting enriches soil, helps in retain moisture. It will reduce the use of chemical fertilizers, reduces methane emission, and also help in the increase of water holding capacity of the soil.
So finally, I think we all have ascertained about the organic compost, and I'm glad to appraise you all that our Kasturba Gandhi Degree and PG College have set up a compost pit in the college premises. The Kasturba Vanavatika team coordinately made a step forward to create green and eco-friendly campus, which resulted in the establishment of Kasturba Vanavatika, including herbal garden, butterfly garden, which also comprises a compost pit. The compost pit is made out of the hostel mess waste, including vegetable scraps, fruit waste, dry leaves, and twigs from the campus itself. Apart from these, our Vanavatika team is also taking care of the solid waste management by signing an MOU with the Arpon Reeboks Limited. Making use of the waste and turning it into the best is the policy of Vanavatika team of Kasturba College. Lastly, I would like to conclude the session by saying, if you want to make a change in the world, you start with yourself. So let us all join the green side by growing our own greens. Thank you.
Oh my god, I forgot to water my plants today. I was too busy. I killed all of my plants. I am a bad parent. Guys, are you all like me? Or interested in cultivating a new green habit? And are you interested in covering yourself with green and involving technology in it? If you want to be a better plant parent, these applications will help your plants thriving. You can plant troubleshoot problems, identify species, and discover care tips just by using your smartphone.
Here are the topmost plant care apps available on Play Store for free. You can use these apps to grow your plants and take care of them. With the help of these apps, you can grow your own greens at your home, and there's no need for you to rush every time to the supermarkets when you're out of your veggie stock. Here, I am using LeafSnap app to show you how this plant care app is helping me to grow my plants. Here, I'm taking the snap of my plant and the app is trying to identify my plant. Now, the app has identified my plant and I can get more information about my plant, and then I can add this to my plant collection. Now I can view the newly added plant into my plant collection, and I can set different care options for my plant according to my priorities. First, I am setting up a timer for watering my plant according to my convenience whenever I might be free, and then save it. Now again, I'm setting up the timer for pruning my plants. I'm selecting the day when I could easily prune my plant and the timer, and then save it. Similarly, you can set the timer for other care options too, according to your priority. You can even add notes about how well your plant is growing so that you can compare it later on with the previous or the next one, and then save it. And when you forget to take care of your plant, the Plant Care app reminds you. I'm able to grow my own greens at my home, and I have successfully become a good plant parent. So now, make the use of the technology and become a good plant parent like us. Thank you.
Thanks a lot for watching the video. Hope you like our efforts in showing up the organic compost, growing your own greens, and plant care apps. On behalf of all the participants of the video, I would like to thank the management of Kasturba Gandhi Degree and PG College, our Principal Sunita ma'am, our Vice Principal Rajshri ma'am, and the members of Vanavatika team. Without your support, this video making would not be possible. Thanks a lot for giving us this opportunity. This is Lahari, signing off for now. Thank you.